Hi, it's Sandra Lemansky, and this is my second ride in the past week or so out on my bike, but it had been a long time since I'd done it, so I'm kind of out of breath right now. But I've been thinking as I've been riding just about being out riding bikes. I'm also thinking about my practice and my patients and listening to podcasts as I go along, and I kind of just wanted to stop and talk to everybody. So first I want to talk to the cyclists out there and the people on the road with the cyclists out there, because I had an experience last weekend when I went ooh, that looks terrible. Never mind, we're gonna wear these sunglasses even though they're cheap and they have reflections on the backside, which has been bugging me to. That's the other reason I wanted to talk to patients. Anyway, cyclists and people on the roads with them. So last weekend I went out Ronald Reagan towards like Georgetown area, ended up turning right on Williams Drive, whatever number road it is out there, and went over to Randall's to grab some extra water and some other fuel, donuts. I did not get a donut while I was out exercising. Yeah, I did. But as I was checking out, there's this nice lady who was checking me out, and we were over there near Sun City, and seemed like she had it all together. I think she was probably retired and doing this job as a thing to keep her busy, which is awesome. And everything was pleasant. And she asked me as I was checking out, I was dressed like this. She said, "Are you one of those cyclists who takes the right of way?" And I was like, well, actually, I think I didn't say this to her, but I was like, I think the right of way is something that you either have or you don't have, and it can't be taken. It can sometimes be given. Like if I have the right of way and I see someone that needs to get out into traffic, I can give them my right of way, but you can't really take a right of way. That's taking your life into your hands if you're a cyclist. So yeah, there's rude people on the road, there's rude people in cars, and there's rude people on bikes. But a lot of times I did want to tell her a little bit about when you're a cyclist, people who are driving cars and not out on bikes very often, they may not realize that when we're going along on these road bikes, I don't know if you can see it, our feet are clipped into the pedal. Where's my pedal? There's the pedal. And I've got this clip on the bottom of my shoe that locks into that pedal, and I can't just take my foot off the pedal real easily. I have to clip it out. So when I'm coming up to a stop sign and it's all clear and I can see many, many yards at least, if not hundreds in each direction, and I know that there's nobody coming, I may not come to a full stop. That's not because I don't respect that it's a stop sign. It's because if I come to a full stop with my feet clipped into the pedals, I am going to fall over. So I got to keep rolling. So I don't roll fast through a stop sign, but I may not stop all the way. And then there is, if you've got some momentum. I was coming down a hill a while ago. I was out on County Road 175, and they put a new light in there, and it's at the bottom of a hill. And I had my gears all in the top gear going as fast as I could because that light was green. And I was like, this is great. I'm going to sail through that green light. And all my gears are topped out, and I was pushing it. And then the light turned yellow. And I kind of went, oh, dang it. But I did stop because it went yellow pretty early. But if it had gone yellow and it was going to be close, it's really tempting to not give up all that momentum, because when I stopped, my bike was still in those top gears, which means it's hard to push the pedals. So, and it's also hard to get them out of that gear if you just come to a quick stop. So when the light did turn green and I was stopped there, I am pushing really hard weight to get rolling again. Plus, I just lost like 25 miles an hour I had going on the way in. So that's just kind of a perspective from a cyclist point of view. I respect everybody in the cars. I'm usually one of them. Like I said, this is only my second ride. Well, no, I didn't say that. It's my second ride in a week, but those are my two first rides in probably 10 months. So I'm not out here all the time. More often I'm in a car. But just think about, cyclists, we're people too. We're probably in the cars more often than we're on our bikes a lot of times. And just kind of be nice. Oh, that was the other thing last weekend as I was going along. So I'm out on that country road, but it had a really wide shoulder. I mean, it was wider than this sidewalk is here, but it had these tar lines going across it like every 1.5 feet. They had really been doing some repairs, and those tar lines were rough. That's another thing about a road bike. Oh, let me get off here for a second. Road bikes don't have any kind of shock absorbers on them. There, I think you can see my pedal there more. Yeah, there's no shock absorbers. So when I was going over those tar lines, it's like ba-dum, 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 but it was really rough. And so at one point, you know, I've got this rear view mirror here. This is a rear view mirror. I can see that car that just went by me. It's a van. So I was going along and I was like, okay, I'm going to get off this tar lines just for a bit and give myself a break. And there was no cars coming behind me, so I was riding in the actual lane of travel. As soon as I saw a car coming up behind me, I got back onto that rough shoulder and was riding on it until the cars would pass. One of those cars honked at me. No, they weren't being nice, saying hello. Hey, great job. Well done. Getting fit. No, they were just honking at me because they didn't like cyclists. So please, you guys, we're all people. Let's all share this road and everything together. And that's all I'm going to talk about. So have a good Sunday.